In terms of players coming in, then if we're saying that John Joe's probably not the right man for us, and Sidderby we're not taking the option on, and Coleman obviously we're looking at now as a backup, in our opinion anyway. I like Max Aarons at Norwich. Now I'm not saying he's good enough to take us into, to be in the Champions League. I don't know. He's a young lad, very comfortable in possession, quick, gets up and down, decent delivery on him. I haven't watched enough of him to say whether he's tactically naive or not. I'd have to watch him every week, but I'm being impressed with what I've seen of him. Is he a possibility?
I think he's very much a possibility. I think the full-back pool in European football is not super deep. It's one of the positions that people try and, it's tough to find a lot of good players in those positions. Centre midfield, there's so many really good centre midfielders out there. It depends what type you want, of course. But full-back is a bit of a shallow position. And Max Aarons, if you looked at him in the Champion, it's hard to compare to the Premiership because the talent gap for Norwich, in terms of they do get torn open because of the way they play. And in the Championship, though, he was much more defensively solid. It did work much better. So he can play in a team where he can be more solid. Obviously, it's much tougher for Norwich. On the ball, really good pass the ball, can cross it, can carry it well. Yes, he should be an option because Carlo did that interview. He said we don't want to buy superstars, we want to make superstars, and he has got that. I'm not saying he's going to be a superstar, but he has got that potential to be to be England's right back. I know there's Trent Arnold-Alexander and Reece James,
Trent Alexander-Arnold,
whatever his name is, who cares? TAA, we'll call it. But they're two really good right backs, and Reece James can play in midfield,
as he did against Everton.
He's a very good player, but I think someone like Max Aarons is one of that next level, and he could be on that level as those two players. Now, whether Everton are willing to pay that, I think Norwich are not stupid. They know when they came up, they were going to go back down. They prepare for this. They've got all these assets to sell, and I think he's one of the main ones. And for 25 million, it probably cost you. Yes, he is a good player to sign. Now, there'd have to be some patience because he's still obviously a player with potential. But yes, he should. I would say whether or not we sign him or not, he should be on the list that we're looking at. And I think he will be. I think he'll definitely be one of the players we're looking at.
Is there any other player who you'd look at and go, let's have a little look at him?
Yeah, well, Kenny Tette's been playing a lot this season for Lyon because Leo Dubois, who's the French right back, he's been out injured. Yeah. Tette's someone we've looked at before. He's Amina Raoul, a client as well, which helps with Marcel Brands knowing him. Very good all-round player. He's 24. Good all-round player. Came up through the Ajax system. Pass, cross, carries the ball well. Good defender. Needs to be a bit better in the air, but so do all full-backs, if I'm honest. There's not many that are good in the air. So, he'd be someone who's an all-round player. You're not going to have to spend a lot of money, 30, 40 million on. Who Everton could bring in, and we obviously got the links with the agents. Yeah, he'd be someone. We'll obviously do something towards, as I say to people on Twitter, I don't spend a lot of time at my job looking at players at Everton's level, so I need to do an in-depth. I know Kenny Tete because I've watched him a number of times, but so we will do another show eventually about right-backs and more in-depth. But he's one that Everton probably will look at as well, because I think when Dubois does come back, he will be back in the team because he is a really good player. They got him from Nantes for quite cheap, and he's become a really good player. I think Tete will be available because he'll want to start playing him. Maybe that's a deal Everton could exploit, that he is a good player. So there's Matty Cash in the Championship that people seem to like. I'm not sure on his level being good enough for Evans. He's a nice player. But there's Joachim Mayle, who plays for Genk, of course. Not had a good season this season. I think he probably should have moved last season. Maybe I don't know whether it's affected his mentality this season. But 6 foot, superb athlete, can pass, good cross through the ball, makes good underlap and overlap and runs. So and we'll also, as we discussed, we're going to do a show about what we need in a right back and the profiles and one. I think. At right back's a really, really important position in the modern game. You look at Liverpool, Man City, Pep, had a bad first season without his full-backs. Liverpool are based on the creativity of full-backs, and it's such a big position. And I think that's why, before we got Sidibe, Seamus Coleman, it had become an issue because he isn't creative enough at that position. I think we need to, that's what position as well as centre midfield that we really need to nail. Obviously right wing and centre back are two other positions we're looking at, but right back for the creativity and for that defensive ability of being able to defend your position. Now look, people would have had a sign Wan-Bissaka last season, but for me he's not good enough going forward. He may eventually be. He's a great defender.
Oh, he's a great defender. I think he'd be centre back.
Yeah, I think in the back three that's his best position, but I think with him, you need to have someone who's better on the ball going forward in tight areas, and that's key in the modern game. Because the better Everton get, the people need to think about this, is the better Everton get, the more teams are going to sit back in, and we need players to break teams down, and having that right back who can obviously get inside the box, big those passes out from in, and cross the ball accurately and consistently, and that's what we need. So hopefully, Max Aarons will be a good player who can do that, and he's got that potential. Kenny Tete, good all-round right back. Them type of players will be on the list, yeah.